Microphone check 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. What up? What up? Hope everybody's doing okay. We will not waste any more time. Okay, so we started out this morning, the 29th here of November. Fran Gold made her decision. If you keep up with the My case, this actually just happened, like within the hour. So it states here, the court, having had this matter under advisement following the hearing conducted on November 22nd, now denies the state's verified request to prohibit public access to a court record in part. The court further finds that the media intervener's motion for leave to intervene is moot and therefore denied. Court orders that the redacted charging informations and affidavit for probable cause submitted by the state at the hearing on November 22nd be filed with the clerk of the court with this order, and further that the clerk shall not release without prior court approval the original sealed unredacted information and affidavit. Okay, so that was the first information released, and then shortly after, a subscriber sent like right before we were going live. So we're going to read it together. I had a chance to browse over the first couple pages, and man, there was a lot of information right off the bat. And I only got about 2 pages in. I didn't have enough time to. I just wanted to read enough to make sure that that some names were being redacted. I didn't want to read anything live on the air, so let's fit this to the page. There we go. Electra, me too. All right. So I'm going to try to stay with the chat. So I know you guys might feel a little impatient, but we're not going to just blow right through this. I don't want to miss anything important. Cuz I mean, like I said right off the bat, they were talking about evidence and details and stuff that we've never heard about and we thought was just rumor. But a lot of it, Fig was spot on. So shout out to Fig Solves, ahead of the game. What's up, everybody? Phony Pin, Crimezilla, Kelly, Anna, Derek, Rockaway, D. Good to see all you guys. Gloria. All right. So, State of Indiana, County of Carroll, State of Indiana versus Richard M. Allen. Same case number, probable cause affidavit. And from what I'm understanding, this was just released right now. I, the undersigned affidavit, submit the following information pursuant as a sworn affidavit setting forth the facts and circumstances known to law enforcement of Carroll County as the basic for probable cause to arrest without a warrant or to establish probable cause for issuance of an arrest warrant for the above named defendant, that the facts and circumstances described below would be sufficient basis for the person for reasonable caution and prejudice to believe that the accused has committed or attempted to commit the offense. All right, so let's skip all that jargon, and it looks like the details begin in this different font. That on February 14th, 2017, victim 1 and victim 2 were found deceased in the woods approximately 0.2 miles northeast of the Monon High Bridge in Carroll County. Their bodies were located on the north side of the Deer Creek. At the time, the Monon High Bridge Trail was an approximately 1 mile gravel trail terminating at the Monon High Bridge. The Monon High Bridge is an abandoned railroad trestle approximately 0.25 miles long, spanning the Deer Creek and Deer Creek Valley on the southeast end of the trail. Approximately 0.7 miles northwest on the trail from the northwestern edge of the Monon High Bridge is the Freedom Bridge, which is a pedestrian bridge spanning State Road 25. Approximately 350 feet west of Freedom Bridge was a former railroad overpass over Old State Road known as County Road 300 North. The trail terminates just west of the former railroad overpass. The majority of the trail is a wooded area with the steep embankment on the south side of the trail. The entirety of the trail and the location of the girls' bodies were and are located in Carroll County, Indiana. Through interviews, reviews of electronic records, and review of video at the Hoosier Harvest Store, investigators believe victim 1 and victim 2 were dropped off across from the Mears farm at 1:49 p.m. on February 13th. So it looks like they did have some video. And it's funny because I was very interested in the Hoosier Harvest Store. Me and Bill, when he was there, he went looking for it, but it's not easy to find. But it's there. February 13th, 2017. So let me catch up on the chat. Because, I mean, just that information right there was like, wow. Okay. What's up, Bogey? All right. Good to see everybody. So apparently there was video of the girls being dropped off, captured from Hoosier Harvest Store, and pinpointed them at 1:49 p.m. being dropped off across from the Mears lot. The Mears farm is located on the north side of County Road 300 North near the entrance to the trails. A video from victim's two's phone shows that at 2:13 p.m., victim 1 and victim 2 encountered a male subject on the southeast portion of the Monon High Bridge. So they did encounter him over there. The Monon High Bridge. The male ordered the girls down the hill. No witness saw them after that time. No outgoing communications were found on victim two's phone after this time. Their bodies were discovered on February 14th, 2017. The video recovered from victim two's phone shows victim 1 walking southeast on the Monon High Bridge. So she would be walking towards the south end of that bridge where they went down the hill, while a male subject wearing a dark jacket and jeans walked behind her. So what it sounds like is when they cut, it appears that maybe Libby or Abby they were filming themselves, and behind them was the man coming. That's why they had to edit it out. You know, people in the TV business, what do you see over here? Over here. Well, over here was actually most likely Libby saying something into the camera, and you can see over her shoulder this man. As a male subject approaches victim 1 and victim 2, one of the victims mentions gun. Near the end of the video, a male is seen in her telling the girls, guys, down the hill. The girls then begin to proceed down the hill, and the video ends. A still photograph taken from the video and the guys down the hill audio was subsequently released to the public to assist investigators in identifying the male. Victim 1 and victim 2's death were ruled as homicides. Clothes were found in the Deer Creek belonging to victim 1 and victim 2, south of where their bodies were located. South. There was also a .40 caliber unspent round less than 2 feet away from victim 2's body. Between victim 1 and victim 2's bodies, the round was unspent and had extraction marks on it. All right, so let's pause there for a moment. So there's the round, the unspent shell. You know, he probably had a round chambered, realized he didn't need to use his gun, really didn't want to use his gun because he knows if he does, people are going to know where he's located. We talked about this from the beginning. So he was probably forced to go to the bladed weapon. You know, to protect his identity, he had to kind of go, I guess, hands on. You know. And it's very possible they're going to mention a thumbprint here. Possibly on the shell. All right. Good to see everybody. Let's keep it going. Okay. The unspent and had extraction marks on it. Interviews were conducted with 3 juveniles, and they advised, looks like the names right here are redacted. They advised they were on the Monon High Bridge Trail on February 13th, 2017. They advised they were walking on the trail toward Freedom Bridge to go home when they encountered a male walking from Freedom Bridge towards the Monon High Bridge. Described the male as kind of creepy and advised he was wearing like blue jeans, like a really light blue jacket, and his hair was gray, maybe a little brown, and he did not really show his face. She advised the jacket was a duck canvas type jacket. Advised she said hi to the male, but he just glared at them. She recalled him being in all black and had something covering his mouth. She described him as not very tall with a bigger build. She said he was not bigger than 5'10". Advised he was wearing a black hoodie, black jeans, and black boots. She stated he had his hands in his pockets, showed investigators photographs she took on her phone while she was on the trail that day. So I haven't read any of this part. Photographs included a photo of the Monon High Bridge taken at 12:43 p.m. and another one taken at 1:26 p.m. of the bench east of Freedom Bridge. Advised after she took the photo of the bench, they started walking back toward Freedom Bridge. She advised that was when they encountered the man who matched the description of the photographs taken from the victim two's video. Described the man she encountered on the trail as wearing a blue or black windbreaker jacket. She advised the jacket had a collar and he had his hood up from the clothing underneath his jacket. She advised he was wearing baggy jeans and was taller than her. She advised her head came up to approximately his shoulders. She advised, said hi to the man, and that he said nothing back. She stated he was walking with a purpose, like he knew where he was going. She stated he had his hands in his pockets and kept his head down. She advised she did not get a good look at his face, but believed him to be a white male. The girls advised after encountering the male, they continued their walk across Freedom Bridge and the old railroad bridge over State Road 25. Investigators spoke with Redacted, who advised she was on the trails on February 13th, 2017. Video from the Hoosier Harvest Store captured vehicle traveling eastbound at 1:46 p.m. toward the entrance across from Mears Farm. Redacted advised she saw four juvenile females walking on the bridge over Old State Road 25 as she was driving underneath her way to park. Redacted advised there were no other cars parked across from the Mears Farm when she parked. She advised she walked to the Monon High Bridge and was observed a male matching one of victim two's matching the one from victim two's video. She described the male she saw as a white male wearing blue jeans and blue jean jacket. She advised he was standing on the first platform of the Monon High Bridge, approximately 50 feet from her. She advised she turned around at the bridge and continued her walk. She advised approximately halfway between the bridge and the parking area across from Mears Farm, she passed two girls walking towards Monon High Bridge. She advised she believed the girls were victim one and victim two. Video from the Hoosier Harvest Store shows at 1:49 p.m. a white car matching vehicle traveling away from the entrance across from the Mears Farm. Redacted advised she finished her walk and saw no other adults other than the male on the bridge. Her vehicle is seen on Hoosier Harvest Store video at 2:14 p.m. leaving westbound from the trails. Redacted advised when she was leaving, she noted a vehicle was parked in an odd manner at the old Child Protective Service building. She said it was not odd for vehicles to be parked there, but she noticed it was odd because of the manner it was parked, backed in near the building. Investigators received a tip from Blank in which he stated he was on his way to Delphi on State Road 25 around 2:10 p.m. on February 13th, 2017. He observed a purple PT Cruiser or a small SUV type vehicle parked on the south side of the old CPS building. He stated it appeared as though it was backed in to conceal the license plate of the vehicle. Redacted both drew diagrams of where they saw the vehicle parked. On the diagrams generally matched as to the area the vehicle was parked and manner in which it was parked. Redacted advised he remembered seeing a smaller dark colored car parked at the old CPS building. I think we know who that witness is. He described it as possibly being a smart car. Redacted vehicle seen leaving at 2:28 p.m. on the Hoosier Harvest Store video. Investigators spoke with Redacted, who stated that she was traveling east on 300 North on February 13th, 2022, and observed a male subject walking west on north side of 300 North away from the Monon High Bridge. So I'm wondering if this is the hitchhiker. Advised that the male subject was wearing a blue colored jacket and blue jeans and was muddy and bloody. She further stated that it appeared he had gotten into a fight. Investigators were able to determine from the video from the Hoosier Harvest Store that Redacted was traveling on CR 300 North at approximately 3:57 p.m. Through interviews, electronic data, photographs, and video from the Hoosier Harvest Store, investigators determined that there were other people on the trail that day after 2:13 p.m. Those people were interviewed, and none of those individuals encountered a male subject referenced above, witnessed by the juvenile girls, Redacted and Redacted. Further, none of those individuals witnessed victim one and victim two. Investigators reviewing prior tips encountered a tip narrative from an officer who interviewed Richard M. Allen in 2017. That narrative stated, Mr. Allen was on the trail between 1300 and 1530, he parked at the old Farm Bureau building and walked to the new Freedom Bridge. While at the Freedom Bridge, he saw three females. He noted one was taller and had brown or black hair. He did not remember description, nor did he speak with them. He walked from the Freedom Bridge to the High Bridge. He did not see anybody. Although he stated he was watching a stock ticker on his phone as he walked, he stated there were vehicles parked at the High Bridge trailhead, however, did not pay attention to them. He did not take any photos or video. His cell phone did not list on IMEI, but did have the following information. Potential follow up information: who were the girls walking in the area of Freedom Bridge? Investigators believe Mr. Allen was referring to the former Child Protective Services building, as there was not a Farm Bureau building in the area, nor had there been. Investigators believe the females he saw included redacted and redacted due to the time they were leaving the trail and time reported getting to the trail and the description of the three females gave. Investigators discovered Richard Allen owned two vehicles in 2017, a 2016 black Ford Focus and a 2006 gray Ford 500. Investigators observed a vehicle that resembled Allen's 2016 Ford Focus on the Hoosier Hardware Store video at 1:27 p.m., traveling westbound on CR 300 North in front of the Hoosier Hardware Store, which coincided with his statement that he arrived around 1:30 p.m. at the trails. Investigators note witnesses described the vehicle parked at the former Child Protective Services building as a PT Cruiser, small SUV, or smart car. Investigators believe those descriptions are similar in nature to a 2016 Ford Focus. On October 13th, 2022, Richard Allen was interviewed again by investigators. He advised he was on the trails on February 13th, 2017. He stated he saw juvenile girls on the trails east of Freedom Bridge and that he went onto the Monon High Bridge. Richard Allen further stated he went out onto the Monon High Bridge to watch the fish. Later in his statement, he said he walked out to the first platform on the bridge. He stated he then walked back, sat on the bench on the trail, and then left. He stated he parked his car on the side of an old building. He told investigators that he was wearing blue jeans and a blue or black Carhartt jacket with a hood. He advised he may have been wearing some type of head covering as well. He further claimed he saw no one else except for the juvenile girls he saw east of the Freedom Bridge. He told investigators that he owns firearms and they are in his home. I need a drink of water. Hold on. So it was a Carhartt jacket. Interesting. On October 13th, 2022, investigators executed a search warrant of Richard Allen's residence at 1967 North Whiteman Drive, Delphi, Carroll County, Indiana. Among other items, officers located jackets, boots, knives, and firearms, including a Sig Sauer Model P226 40 caliber pistol with serial number U625627. Holy shit. Between October 14th, 2022 and October 19th of 2022, the Indiana State Police Laboratory performed an analysis on Allen's Sig Sauer Model P226. The laboratory performed a physical examination and classification of the firearm, function test, barrel and overall length measurements, test firing, ammunition component characterization, microscopic comparison, and NIBIN, NIBIN, all capitals. The laboratory determined the unspent round located within 2 feet of the victim 2 feet of victim two's body had been cycled through Richard M. Allen's SIG. The laboratory remarked, an identification opinion is reached when the evidence exhibits an agreement of class characteristics and a sufficient agreement of individual marks. Sufficient agreement is related to the significant duplication of random serrated impressed marks as evidenced by the correspondence of a pattern combination of patterns of surface contours. The interpretation of identification is subjective in nature and based on relevant scientific research and reporting, examiners, training, and experience. It's all technical stuff. Investigators then ran the firearm and found that the firearm was purchased by Richard Allen in 2001. Richard Allen voluntarily came to the Indiana State Police Post on October 26th of 2022. He spoke with investigators and stated that he never allowed anybody to use or borrow his Sig Sauer Model P226 firearm when asked about the unspent bullet. He did not have an explanation of why the bullet was found between the bodies of victim 1 and victim 2. He again admitted that he was on the trail but denied knowing victim 1 or victim 2 and denied any involvement in their murders. Carroll County Sheriff's Department detectives, unredacted, has been part of the investigation since it started in 2017. He has had an opportunity to review and examine evidence gathered in this investigation. Detective Redacted, along with other investigators, believe the evidence gathered shows that Richard Allen is the male subject seen in the video from victim two's phone, who forced the victims down the hill. Further, that the victims were forced down the hill by Richard Allen and led to the location where they were murdered. Through the statement and photographs of the juvenile females, the statement of Redacted and Redacted were at the southwest edge of the trail at 12:43 p.m. east of Freedom Bridge at 1:26 p.m. and walked across the former railroad overpass over Old State Road 25 after 1:26 p.m. and before 1:46 p.m. They walked the entirety of the trail and observed only one person, an adult male. Redacted vehicle is seen on Hoosier Harvest Store video at 1:46 p.m. and leaving at 2:14 p.m. And she stated she only saw one adult male. Redacted and Redacted described the male in similar manners, wearing similar clothing, leading investigators to believe all four saw the same male individual. Investigators believe the male observed by Redacted and Redacted is the same male depicted in the video from victim's two phone. Due to the description of the male by the four females matching the male in the video, furthermore, victim two's video was taken at 2:13 p.m. and Redacted saw only one male while she was on the trail from approximately 1:46 to 2:14 p.m. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break there. My lips are getting numb. All right, let's go all the way back up here. I'm not sure if he changed his clothes, but it sounds like there might be two people. They're describing one person in all in black. Whoever the witness is says she was shorter than him, up to his shoulder. So seems like the perp 2 was all in black and maybe a little bit taller than, let's say, Richard Allen. Looks like we got a super chat. Let's zoom down here. Hey, Tom, thank you so much for your support. Yeah, very crazy. I don't know, Big Fish. If he is, it's going to say it right here in this probable cause. But his timeline doesn't match this timeline. Looks like all this is going on like 1:46 and then over by even before 3. Okay, let's keep it going here. Let me get a drink of water. Little toot from the cannabis pen. So it looks like we're on page 6 of 8. So we are making some progress here. And we'll start over at the beginning and kind of go through it. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you, Miss Kitty. All right. So it says here, investigators believe Richard Allen was the male seen by Redacted and Redacted, and the male seen by on Victims two's video. Richard Allen told investigators he was on the trail from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Wow. That day, video from Hoosier Harvest Store shows a vehicle that matches the description of Richard Allen's vehicle passing at 1:27 p.m. toward the former CPS building. The clothing he told investigator he was wearing matched the clothing of the male in victim two's video and the clothing description provided by Redacted and Redacted. A vehicle matching the description of his 2016 Ford Focus is seen at and around 2 p.m., 2:14 p.m., and 2:28 p.m. at the former CPS building. So they must have had three different witnesses. Through his own admissions, Richard Allen walked the trails and eventually hiked to the Monon High Bridge and walked out onto the Monon High Bridge. A male subject matching Richard Allen's description was not seen on the trail after 2:13 p.m. Investigators identified other individuals on the trail CR 300 North between 2:30 p.m. and 4:11 p.m. None of those individuals saw a male subject matching the description of Richard Allen on the trail. Furthermore, Richard Allen stated that he only saw three girls on the trail, who investigators believe to be redacted. Investigators believe Richard Allen was not seen on the trail after 2:13 p.m. because he was in the woods with victim 1 and victim 2. An unspent 40 caliber round between the bodies of victim 1 and victim 2 was forensically determined to have been cycled through Richard Allen's Sig Sauer model P226. The SIG was found at Richard Allen's residence, and he admitted to owning it. Investigators were able to determine that he had owned it since 2001. Richard Allen stated he had not been on that property where the unspent round was found, that he had not known the property owner, that he had no explanation as to why a round cycled through his firearm would be at that location. Furthermore, he stated that he never allowed anybody to use or borrow his SIG. Investigators believe that after the victims were murdered, Richard Allen returned to his vehicle by walking down CR 300 North. Investigators believe he was seen by Redacted walking back to his vehicle on CR 300 North with clothes that were muddy and bloody. Redacted, and with investigators believe the statement made by witnesses because of the statements corroborate the timeline of death in the two victims as well as coincide with admissions made by Richard Allen. Further, the accounts relayed by Redacted and Redacted are similar in nature, and times on photographs taken by Redacted correspond to the times in the juvenile females said they were on the trail and saw the male individual. This one does not contain page 8. Let me see if I have it. That might be the end of it. Yep, that's it. Not sure what's on page 8, but what I was sent did not contain page 8. So what do you guys think? So they caught his vehicle coming and going. The Hoosier Harvest Store full. So we got a lot of this stuff right. The CPS building seems to be a huge part of what was going on. But it looks like the part we got wrong was some of the theories that where he may have traveled on foot. No, he just simply committed the murder and went right back to his vehicle, is what law enforcement thinks. But where's the evidence of the second person? Is it just this taller guy in all black? I mean, maybe they found something once they served the warrant. Mike says, so far I see what his defense attorneys are saying, although Richard Allen timeline as stated in PCA could be very revealing. Yeah, I mean, he's putting himself all over the place at the right times. And why would his spent shell be there or his unspent shell casing be there? Basically just a bullet. Oh, the witness's card. Did I read that wrong? And we'll have a chance to go over this in more fine detail. I just wanted to read it, get it out there, let you guys know it's available, cover it, and then talk about it with you guys. So they're not going to have anything that was found after the search warrant here. I don't know if that'll ever be released until they get to court. Yeah, why? I think some of the questions I have, Vanessa, why were you there? Why were you? It seems like you got there right at the same time the girls got there. So if you got there and you're moving with purpose, right? That's what the witnesses are saying. You're there to conduct business. Your business that day is murder. You park there, you back in, extremely suspicious, almost to where people don't even know what kind of vehicle you have. You know, smart car, some type of smaller SUV. Like you back in to hide your license plates. So why are you there? So he has something's motivating him, and I wonder if that's where this other perpetrator comes in. As part of the motivation. And now we know it wasn't a Jeep. So was Keegan, if he's still connected, is he waiting in a Jeep somewhere else? Country Club Road or something? Or is that just, do we need to stop talking about that? Yeah, no mention in the probable cause. Why would McLeland say he thinks there's others involved? Yep, probable cause for arrest. So this is what allowed them to serve that search warrant, dig up his property, and go through all his stuff. Any buildings on his property there. What gave them probable cause to search his house in 2022? Yeah, I understand they had the spent or the unspent shell casing, but how did they know that belonged to him? Maybe him just being there in and around was enough for a judge to say, okay. And then they found the unspent shell casing, tied it to him, put him at the crime scene, potentially. And then when they served the search warrant, they found evidence of other people being involved. And that could have something to do with maybe the trophies, correspondence, or who knows. Ivy says, Ann Vroom, response to Ann Vroom, I assume the state has a ton more. I'm just hoping it's directly linking him because I know the defense will argue you can't prove the bullet was left that day. Yeah, it's all just like suspicious, maybe enough to get that search going. Yeah, Vanessa, it would be nice to talk to Fig. He's always like one step ahead. Hey, what's up, Joe? Good to see you. I went to the high bridge to clean my gun. Yeah, right. While on the video, the girls are yelling gun. So on the video, one of the girls said gun. Okay, we're going to do whatever you say. He's got a gun. Gets him to the location with that gun, unchambers the gun. He doesn't want any mistakes and he doesn't want to make any noise. And then this seems very planned. Yep, SB-74. That's extremely huge. He was coming and going, hiding his face. I'm just confused on the second person. I'm assuming that has to do with the taller person that the witnesses that was wearing all black. They were very specific: black hoodie, black pants, black boots. One of the witnesses said, "I went up to his shoulder." That doesn't sound like Richard Allen. So I'm wondering if that plays a small part. Miss Thing, not much. I think he passed just prior. So that could cause maybe a downhill spiral, some drinking, some depression, maybe. Glenn, what's up? Why didn't they ask to check his registered gun when they had a bullet and knew he was there and they knew he owned a gun? 5 years. Yep. Maybe one of those quote unquote clerical errors. I mean, it happens. This stuff is very complex. I mean, you can't even bump a post-it note off your desk, He admits to knowing things only the murderer would know before he knew there was a video of him. Very true. Hey, Tom, with the super chat. Thank you so much. Question: why would you do this? What the fuck is your motive? Yeah, what is motivating this guy? He hid his license plate, parked his vehicle strategically, and hid his face. Man, he was really moving. He went there, completed the deed, and left. From that timeline we just heard. (1:30 to 3:30). He's out. Done and filmed for money. Yeah, what's the motivation? How do you know others are involved? What was found during the search warrant? Man, they were carrying all kinds of stuff out of there. KK is lying. Yeah, there's nothing about him in here. Nothing about him in here or the search. Yeah, we're going to stop talking about that until we see any more links, I think, at least on my end. But that just pisses me off about law enforcement. Oh, we can't talk to you about that. We feel it's going to hurt the case. Well, now it's not even involved in the case. How's it going to hurt? See, it's shit like that just frustrates me. I can't. If I start talking, I go on tangents. There's nothing we can do about it now, Spilt milk. But when the price is so high, it's just like how, I don't know. We're all human. That's what I'm saying. This is really going out to those people that say you should just put blind faith into people or government entities or departments, I think, yeah, we need them, but it gets a little cultish, I guess. He was seen walking away with blood and mud on him. What the hell? Like he'd just gotten in a fight. So that answers your question to those people who said, how can you not see somebody who would be covered in mud? Wet jeans. Well, there you go. They did. They kept saying white truck and small white car. No, Gabe Ellis was not in a white car. He was in a Jeep. I actually read that article where they talked about Gabe Ellis being in a Jeep. Morgan says, I'm staggered it has taken so long for this, and they interviewed him twice, right? Well, recently. This most recent time is when they arrested him. He could have dropped that bullet at any time in the past. Right at the crime scene, in between the bodies. Good luck selling that one to a jury. Bam, bingo. Michael says, Sleuth, you said many times he would have had blood on his clothes. There you have it. We always mention that in regards to Ron Logan. The dude would have been covered in blood. He didn't say another killer, though. True. Yeah, that part confuses me. Devoted to Mariah, not, you're right. This isn't all they have on him. Not by far. Let's take a look at a couple videos here because we're already kind of hitting the hour mark, and I wanted to get these out here. And I think that's here on the case summary as well. I didn't capture it on this screen grab. It's okay. We're going to watch these videos real quick and they'll explain it and show it.
News at noon. We start today with breaking news. The lawyers for Richard Allen are now filing for a change of venue.
Yeah, Allen is charged with the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German of Delphi.
Thank you,
His
housewife.
Change of venue request was filed last night, but just released to the public this morning. His lawyers are asking to move the trial away from Delphi.
Our senior investigative reporter Bob Siegel joins us today with their motion and where they want to move that trial. Bob, what have we learned?
Well, this is the change of venue motion right here. Allen and his attorneys say the Delphi murder case has gotten extensive media coverage for 5.5 years. The filing also said hundreds of people in Delphi helped search for the girls when they first went missing, and many people in Delphi know Allen because of his job at the CVS there. Allen's lawyers say all of that will make it hard to find impartial jury members in Carroll County. So they're asking the court to move the trial at least 150 miles away from Carroll County to help ensure Allen will have an unbiased jury. Now, that's just the latest issue that Judge Frances Gall will have to decide. She's also considering a request to set bail for Richard Allen and to impose a gag order that will keep all participants in the case from making any statements or releasing additional information about the case outside of court. And of course, there's that big issue, which is whether to release more details, the probable cause affidavit in the case that we're still waiting on as well.
Yeah, and I was going to say there's so much focus, so much attention on that. Any idea on a timeline for her for that?
We are expecting any day now. In fact, it could be any
hour
Electra. Now. We were under the impression it would come within 10 days. Right now, it's been a week, so it literally could be any moment that we get a decision from Judge Gall on that.
All right, we know you'll be watching. Bob, thanks.
Yeah.
Request in the Delphi murders case against the suspect Richard M. Allen. This one from his defense team asking for a change of venue trial. So WRTV's Caitlin Kendall has been following this case, and she joins us live from Delphi with the very latest developments. Caitlin.
Megan, this didn't come as a surprise to many. Richard Allen's attorneys requesting the trial be moved out of Carroll County, citing the extensive media attention and the highly publicized case will make it, quote, impossible to not have a tainted jury. The death of teenagers Abby Williams and Libby German happened nearly 6 years ago. The motion states, though local, statewide, and national attention of this case, as well as podcasts viewed internationally, will make it difficult to find a jury that doesn't know of the case. They feel it'll be in the best interest of both sides to move the trial. Data is mentioned in the motion showing that roughly 50% of Carroll County residents searched Allen's name on Google last month alone. They compared that to Fort Wayne, that's roughly 100 miles away, where they claim nearly 4% of residents there have searched his name. They also cite this small county as a reason, saying the likelihood of a juror participating in a search for the girls when they were missing, knowing the victims or someone connected to the victims, is very high. The defense team also says that the fact that Allen was a local and worked at CVS put him in the general public's eye, so many people know him personally or have come across him. Therefore, the number of available jurors is limited. The defense is requesting the trial be moved at least 150 miles
Tom, you
away.
said that from
It's
the
now
beginning.
up to a special judge
CD
to make
said that
that
was a
call.
possibility
We
as
should
well.
note she still has not decided whether or not the court documents will remain sealed in this case. Also, whether a gag order filed by the prosecutor preventing anyone, including family, from talking about this case be granted. We'll, of course, update you when she makes a decision on all of these motions. Working for you live in Delphi, Caitlin.
So they did petition to get a change of venue. Let's put this PCA back up on the screen here. Yeah, let's talk about this. Okay, so we'll go past all these are just the details. Okay, through interviews, reviews of electronic records, and review of video at the Hoosier Harvest Store, investigators believe victim 1 and victim 2 were dropped off across from the Mears farm at 1:49 p.m. February 13th, 2017 by, I think we all know who that is. Okay, so let me pull up a quick little map. I think it has all the Hoosier Harvest Store titled there. Yep, I can't find that one. But basically the Hoosier Harvest Store is next door to the Mears lot. And when I find this image, I'll put it up on the screen, but it kind of gives you a better idea. So right where the girls were dropped off, the Hoosier Harvest Store is kind of parallel on the other side of the Mears lot. And also it says here, victim 1 and victim 2 encountered a male subject on the southeast portion of the Monon High Bridge. So they make it seem as if they did bump into him on the southeast end. Victim 2's phone shows victim 1. Okay, so victim 2's phone shows victim 1 walking southeast on the Monon High Bridge while a male subject wearing a dark jacket and jeans walked behind her. Okay. So it was Abby who's, remember we saw her, just the edge of her jacket, little gray elbow or something sticking out. So they cut her out of the image. So they're verifying that piece. So Libby was filming Abby, and behind her, she's being followed by a man. One of the victims mentions gun. So he must have controlled him with the gun, and you can kind of see that in the video. Seems to be clutching something in his right hand. So the girls then begin to proceed down the hill and the video ends. So that's it. I wonder why. Clothes were found in the Deer Creek belonging to victim 1 and victim 2 south of where their bodies were located. So south, wouldn't that be just across the creek? Or not even across the creek. Maybe even caught in some bushes or some fallen trees right there. I think we can kind of see that on our RTV6 footage. We can kind of see the clothes just kind of floating in the water, and then we know that there was a shoe found across the creek. So I'm assuming that's what they're referring to. But that doesn't sound like Down Creek, like from what we hear from J. Kyle Keener, where he said he could see the clothing. So that means when he saw the clothing, he was not on the bridge, like I originally thought. He must have been snooping, and that's why he got in trouble. Let's see here. Oh, here it is. There was a .40 caliber unspent round less than 2 feet away from victim 2's body, between victim 1 and victim 2's body. The round was unspent and had extraction marks. So basically, when you pull the hammer back again, the round came flying out. And when the round goes into the chamber, I'm assuming it's going to scratch the brass. And that should most likely match your firearm. I think I have a somewhat of a grasp on what they're talking about. But this also gives us an idea, the bodies weren't touching. How can they be, let's see, .40 caliber unspent round less than 2 feet away from victim 2's body? So how can it be 2 feet away and then still be between the bodies? Okay, these two witnesses were walking on the trail toward Freedom Bridge to go home. They were done. And they encountered a male walking from Freedom Bridge towards the Monon High Bridge. Witness described the male as kind of creepy and advised he was wearing like blue jeans, really light blue jacket. His hair was gray, maybe a little brown. He did not really show his face. Advised the jacket was a duck canvas type jacket. Witness advised she said hi to the male, but he just glared at them. She recalled him being in all black and had something covering his mouth. She described him as not very tall, with a bigger build. She said he was not bigger than 5'10". Advised he was wearing a black hoodie, black jeans, and black boots. She stated he had his hands in his pockets. Showed investigators photographs she took of her phone while she was on the trail that day. Well, they redacted an investigator's name, so they must have brought somebody in and they're not giving out his name. And we'll talk about that another time. I want to look into it more first. I already sound like an idiot. Yep, that's what it sounds like. Brought them where they were killed. Because Ivy brought up a good point earlier. Usually, and we learned this from the West Memphis Three, there was a lot of blood missing. So they had to come up with theories where they brought here. Was it the rain? Where they washed? Was it washed away? But according to what we know from Ron Logan's probable cause affidavit, there was a lot of blood. And usually, if you move a body, you're moving it from where you originally left all that blood, I guess. But you could always move them while they're still living. Oh yeah. There's some people that make a career as contrarians for legal cases. Yeah, it's him. He's done. But why? Why was he in such a rush? And why did he plan? It seems like he planned this. You don't back your vehicle in, to something that's away from the trail, away from the regular parking. You don't try to cover your face, march directly to where the girls were kidnapped, and then march back covered in mud, and then one of your shell cases is sitting in between the bodies. Oh, yeah. Now we know why McLeland was so cocky. What's up, Frank? Good to see you. Hey, what's up, Ruckus? Yep, that's what they're going to do. And then once you can cast doubt, boom, out goes that evidence. I don't know. I didn't see anything about DNA in here. There's nothing about the DNA. And I'm sure I missed a lot. We're going to continue to go over this in the days to come here, I'm sure. And we'll get more information as it unfolds. Let's see. Right here. She advised he was wearing baggy jeans and was taller than her, but she could have been really short. She advised her head came up to approximately his shoulder. Maybe not. So I don't know. She advised, said hi, the man, and then he said nothing back. She stated he was walking with a purpose, like he knew where he was going. She stated he had his hands in his pockets and kept his head down. She advised she did not get a good look at his face, but believed him to be a white male. The girls advised after encountering the male, they continued their walk across Freedom Bridge and the old railroad bridge over Old State Road 25. So if you keep walking, I guess there's another bridge back there past Freedom Bridge. If you keep heading north. Let's see here. This looks like a witness who advised she was on the trails on February 13th. Video from the Hoosier Harvest Store captured her vehicle. He or she, it's a witness, this witness's vehicle traveling eastbound. So that would have been going basically where the girls just came from, up that road. Yeah, we're going to map all this out. Once we have time to regurgitate it, we'll map it all out. We'll have the map showing where these vehicles were going. We'll get the timeline, put it together for you guys. Okay, let's see. So the vehicle, her vehicle, I don't know why I keep saying her. For some reason, I feel like it's a her. Vehicle traveling eastbound at 1:46 p.m. toward the entrance across from the Mears farm. Witness advised, she saw 4 juvenile females walking on the bridge over Old State Road 25 as she was driving underneath on her way to park. She advised there were no other cars parked across from the Mears farm. So she parked right where the girls were dropped off. And she advised she walked to the Monon High Bridge. So she went straight to the bridge from the Mears lot. And this actually coincides apparently with what Richard Allen said, where he said, yeah, I went on the bridge and I went on to one of the piers and I was just looking at the fish. So he must have known somebody seen him. So his story matches, with everybody that may have seen what was going on. Here, let me grab this super chat real quick. And sorry if I'm missing all the chats. I mean, they're just coming so fast. Make sure I at least get these ones. Oh man, I even have it on slow-mo. What the heck? Here it is, Lola. Thank you, Lola. Says, thanks for doing this, Luth. You're much appreciated. Yep. I mean, it's all wrapping up here. They do have a solid case. It's going to be an uphill battle, but it looks pretty solid. At least him being involved for sure. And observed a male matching the one from victim 2's body. She described the male she saw as a white male wearing blue jeans and a blue jean jacket. She advised he was standing on the first platform of the Monon High Bridge approximately 50 feet from her. She advised she turned around at the bridge and continued her walk. She advised approximately halfway between the bridge and the parking area across from the Mears farm, she passed 2 girls walking toward Monon High Bridge. She advised she believed the girls were victim 1 and victim 2. Man, that's so close. So that means, let's look at this. That means he was on the south end of the bridge. He didn't come up from behind her. So this victim is stating that when she got out of her vehicle, walked to the bridge, he was already on the bridge and making his way south on the bridge. So that means by the time he got to the south end of the bridge, the girls had gotten dropped off and were going directly to the bridge. So they maybe got, well, hey, let's cross it real quick. Everybody left. Let's just hang out here. Went to cross the bridge, and guess who's on the south end? The guy on the video, potentially Richard Allen. So all these people were like, it's not possible. They didn't meet up with this killer on the south end of the bridge. That's what it sounds like right here. Tom says, thank you, Tom. I can't believe he had enough balls to walk back to his car covered in blood. He must be one crazy dude. Yeah, he must have been out of his freaking mind, angry. Like, why else? What is motivating this guy? He didn't just, hey, I'm going to go for a hike, and then they pissed him off. Backed the vehicle in to the CPS building and walked with purpose. And almost as if, and then he must have made it to the bridge first. So he laid wait. This could be an ambush. But why? What's the motivation? Miranda, I don't think so. Him backing in the vehicle, him getting out. Him having the gun on him, going directly to the bridge. Yeah, I'm gonna lean away from random right now. Thank you, Tom. Where's the non-secular items? Was that made up? I think we're going to learn more about that. Maybe they haven't tied it to him. Maybe it's tied to the other person. Maybe the DNA is tied to the other person. Maybe they do have DNA. I mean, this jury trial is right around the corner. All this information is going to come out regardless. Evil bastard. That's 100% Chopper. Good to see you. Yep, the timing. He backed up away from everybody. He could have easily went and parked right at the Mears lot. Nobody else was there. The witness even said it. She said, I didn't see anybody else parked there, but yet there was this man on the bridge. And then when I was leaving, which means that he probably went further on the bridge by then, all the way to the south end, the girls were coming. Girls, they're looking for their friends. Their friends, they're like, hey, we just missed you. Sorry. Oh, well, while we're here, let's call our ride, tell them to come. But while we're here, let's just cross the bridge real quick. Our ride won't be here for like another 30, 40 minutes. So as they're walking down the bridge, guess who's coming towards them? So, I mean, I don't know. Him backing in, I mean, he could maybe he wasn't targeting them. Maybe he's like, I'm going to that bridge. I'm gonna hurt somebody. And they just happen to be in that Goldilocks like scenario for him. But I don't think so. This seems very planned. Two pieces of evidence from the search warrant. Yeah, I would like to know what that is. It's got to be some kind of a signature, maybe a photograph. Yep, that's a good point, Repo. They're like, no, we're not going to do what you say, Chamber another round. That round goes flying. They begin doing, following his instructions. Yeah, if he did it alone, they got him. Now I can see why the defense was like, as far as another person being involved, we just don't see it. Yeah, but they don't have to see it in this. Maybe they found something after the fact. Maybe the witnesses who seen the vehicle saw two people walking, maybe not just one. We're only hearing the information pertaining to him and why they searched his home. See Tom with the super chat. Thank you, Tom. Maybe Ron Logan found them and put those crosses down there and freaked out. So confusing. I don't think Ron Logan plays a part in this at all. Hey, Return to the Diamonds with a nice super chat. Thank you so much. Every lie will be revealed. More to come. Patience is important. Thank you, Sleuth, for being unbiased and level-headed. Yeah, I mean, we've all learned our lessons, and we got to learn from it because we personally don't want to be let down, right? So don't lead yourself just to be let down. Be patient. The information will come, and once we have all the facts, we can learn from it. But yeah, we still don't know why this guy did it, and I hope that if he is the man who participated in the crime, that he comes clean, so that they can get some justice and families can hopefully find some rest. It says it was one man. One of those juveniles was the one who said he was in black. Yeah, and these are separate accounts. These aren't witnesses that were together. So they're trying to find that in between. If you notice, they all said the vehicle resembled something different, but it was similar to the Ford Focus. Yeah, I mean, that's what you're supposed to tell your defense attorney. If you tell him, well, I did this, he's going to be like, well, now I got to recuse myself. Either recuse himself or he has to proceed, as part of the strategy that you're guilty, but we're going to, lessen the blunt force of it all. Elizabeth Stark says, very possible the girls themselves were not especially targeted. He could have had an urge or not in his right mind, but thought he would use the bridge to help trap someone. Yeah, so the day, the time, he could have been out to commit a sexual assault or a murder, and it just so happened when he got to the bridge, nobody's there, and then all of a sudden here comes these two girls. It could have been a planned murder and then an opportunistic target. But I don't have any statistics on that. I'm literally just rambling. But I mean, it makes sense to me. Yeah, that was very generous. Everybody that supports my channel, I just want you to know I really appreciate it. We don't ask for donations. They're very welcome and very much appreciated. I myself like to donate to other channels and things like that. So if you have the need or the want, hey, feel free to. Yeah, exactly. Somebody on the Snap account talked to Libby the day of, right? Yes. What about the money account? What about the grooming? I'm going to hold off on all that information. It's so compelling. I mean, let's say Kagan Klein is 100% not involved. Like, you can totally see how somebody can get put in prison falsely by circumstantial evidence, especially when you got salesmen on either side, trying to sell these ideas. It's kind of scary. All right. So we got about 15 more minutes, guys. Try to get in any more questions. Kind of skim through this a little bit more. So here, I believe this is the Brad Heath. Received a tip from blank in which he stated he was on his way to Delphi around 2:10. That'd be right before the murders, right before he abducted them. He observed a purple PT Cruiser. See, we had all this pretty much right, guys, with our theories and things. So, I mean, good job, you guys. That at least we know that when we're looking at other cases, we can trust some of our theories, at least on this basic of a level. Observed a purple PT Cruiser or small SUV type vehicle parked on the south side of the old CPS building. Rumors at the time, we heard a lot about a white truck, remember? He stated it appeared as though it was backed in to conceal the license plate of the vehicle. Witnesses both drew diagrams where they saw the vehicle parked, and their diagrams generally matched as the area the vehicle was parked. Nadia says, I am more convinced now that he did and probably alone. I'm not convinced yet. I am not convinced. Yep, 100%, Ann. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I mean, it is kind of bulky and it has a real short trunk. So if it was backed in, I could kind of see that being the case. But I was kind of like, I don't know if I agree with that. That's going to be probably easy for the defense to kind of be like, here's a Ford Focus and here's a PT Cruiser. But then again, they break it down to the minute fraction. Okay, now let's take the Focus and back it in. Yeah, Lesko. I'm thinking there was another round chambered for intimidation purposes. I think I think it was Ivy. Somebody mentioned that, and I think they might be spot on. Exactly. Ivy said, I may have misunderstood, but I thought two of the witnesses were 2-3 juveniles. One said he wore a light blue jacket. Yeah, one said they saw a man all in black, no taller than 5'10". Her head probably went up to his shoulder, but he was wearing a black hoodie, black pants, and black boots. And then the other two, even one said that he was wearing a Carhartt, a blue Carhartt, and then one said he was wearing blue jeans and a blue jean jacket. Oh, yes. Thank you, Nadia. Yes, please, if you could. Helps out my channel. If you subscribe and hit the like button. Sends me on a ride through the algorithms and whatnot. They can't tell us anything. There's certain things they can't. I think they can't lie about having like scientific evidence. They can't say, "Hey, we tested your DNA and it matches." They can just lie and say, "Hey, well, there's people that are pointing their finger at you. They're giving us the hint, the idea that it was you that did it, and it's not just one person." There it is. Accept motive and cause of victim deaths. Yep. Everything they ever wanted on him. And they must have found, I'm assuming at the search, maybe some bloody clothes with his and the victim's blood. Brick with eyes. That isn't wrong. You can tell your lawyer the truth. You can't, because if your lawyer knows that you did it and goes out into the courtroom and lies under oath and says you didn't do it, that's illegal. Like at that point, he would become a witness for the prosecution. I don't understand why he would clear the gun. Intimidation is the only thing I can think of. They're not doing what he says. Chambers another round. It makes a big loud hammer noise, and they're like, oh shit, that thing is loaded. All right, don't do anything. Or maybe he did it by accident on when he was finished. He was kind of nervous and he's like, oh shit, I need to take that chamber out of this, out of the gun before I shoot myself in the leg. That's right. Oh, thank you, Tom. Yep, that's true. Our channel. It's 100%. Thank you, Vanessa. I appreciate you guys. We got about 5 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a real good look. This PCA. I don't know if we'll go live again today, but I'm gonna keep my eye out on news coverage, any changes in the case summaries, if anybody involved, and I'll put together some content for tomorrow. So if you guys have trouble gaining access to this, let me know, and I'll see where we can find it online, because this was actually sent to me by an awesome person. So shout out to them. All right, so we're going to start closing this out, guys. Yeah, it's possible. Thank you, D. Jim. You're such the shock. You're a shock value guy. Yeah, it seems to be taller, or the witness is just really, really short. I don't know. Seems to be two separate descriptions of shady individuals. Yeah, beyond reasonable doubt. Thank you, Heather. I appreciate all your support. Thank you, Linda. Yep, possible. Right, bud. I don't know, man. It's not over yet, though. At this point, we got to go where all this information leads us, and then we can speculate about it. That's a good point, Beach Fairy. Like, how is this guy gonna have time? Why is he undressing both girls? Almost would almost seems like there would need to be two perpetrators. Good point. Your wife is a defense lawyer, by the way? Oh, okay. Yeah, Chopper, we're gonna spend some time on this. I just need time to digest everything. Thanks again, Heather. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Tom. I would like for you to do a missing person skit for my wife's 14-year-old cousin. Missing 3 days now from Houston area. Send me the details, Tom. I'll look at it. sleuthintuition@gmail.com. You got it, Anna. Thanks for hanging out. All right, guys, if you're catching the replay, holy heck, they released the probable cause. A lot of information in there. We're going to digest it. We're going to dissect it, and we'll cover it again. I want to thank everybody who donated to my channel, Super Chat, Super Stickers. Thank you.